You good now? Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Change the Lives. Hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Kind of like not too far from what we talked about the show a couple weeks ago dealing with resiliency. But today's topic we're talking about how to encourage independence in kids. Again, how to encourage independence in kids. And one of the reasons why, even with the resiliency show, we talked about how to make kids resilient. But we're talking about, when we bring the subject about how to encourage independence in kids, I've seen far too often, and especially in recent discussions, people dealing with a new phenomenon, and that's raising 30-year-olds. And, people have different kind of viewpoints in regards to, I've heard people say, my kids can stay with me forever, and they can, and I can do certain things. And I'm not one of the people that believe in it. Okay. My kids need me. Yeah. They need me. I got them. Mm-hmm. Transitioning, leaving college, going through a divorce, lost a job, got sick, got you. Mm-hmm. But I don't want no grown person living with me. That doesn't make me right. Don't make me wrong. Is how I feel. Right. But I do want my kids to be out there to be independent, be able to take care of themselves, and whatever situation we may have, it's fine. But I think far too often, my personal opinion, I think people encourage a lot of kids to still live with them outside of those transition things because of fear apprehensions that the parents have. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're going to talk about that tonight. Okay. So again, tonight we're talking about how to encourage independence in kids. Feel free to call in. The call-in number 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number 678-740-9894. Before I get started, I want to say what's up to my house producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Man, what's happening with you?
It's Thursday. I'm getting myself together. It's Thursday. Best day of the week, right?
It's cool. Absolutely best day of the week.
Best day of the week.
I also want to say what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Slick?
Hey, and again, guys, we're talking about today, so we start talking about independence. It was started again. I'm the father of 4 sons, and I want to get this quick disclaimer again. The way my viewpoints that I express, that's just how I feel. Right. I'm not saying anybody else got to do it the same way, but excuse me, I will say this. I hear people far too often bitching and complaining about, I got to help my child with this, got to help my son with this, got to help my daughter with this, that, and that. And you're complaining, but you have a situation that you allow to happen.
You're an enabler.
Enabling, and I think it'd be a very reason when we start talking about why are you still taking care of your kids? Because again, we start talking about nothing wrong with assisting and helping them,
right?
But shit,
sponsoring that stop.
Yeah, exactly. And right. And why do you continue to let it go on? Some people say, well, they need help. Well, it's not simple as just help. It's like, damn, they're like fully functional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They got jobs and everything.
Got jobs, children.
They got children
living in there.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, it's amazing when I hear people complain about it, and I'm just sitting there like,
why do
it? Exactly. Right. Exactly. And so that's why I want to have that discussion tonight. Again, guys, we're talking about how to encourage independence in kids. Feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burton YouTube channel. And real quick, I want to give a quick disclaimer so we can all just have a little moment of cheer. Changing Lives just surpassed the 15,000 subscribers.
What?
This week. 15,000. Also, guys, from Changing Lives or merchandise. If you look on the YouTube channel in the description section of each video, we got the links to all the merchandise there. Or you can go to my website, DeonteBurton.com. Again, that's DeonteBurton.com. We can get a link to the Change the Lives store. Also, my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. All those items are there for the merchandise. I got cups, I got pens, I got everything you need. So definitely go check that out and get a chance.
Done is better than perfect.
There you go.
Yeah. Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect.
There we go.
There we go. That we stop the BS. Baby.
That's right. I need to get that one of these picture frames right here. Done is better than perfect.
Absolutely. All the time.
Signed by Mr. Short.
All day.
All day.
Now we define independence. Independence is the ability of children to make decisions, solve problems, and take action on their own that are appropriate for their age, of course. Okay. Again, that's the ability to make decisions, solve problems, and take action on their own appropriate to their age, right? I'm not sitting here saying that we can hold an 8-year-old to the same standard that we hold a 15-year-old or hold a 20-year-old.
Right.
Right? We got some things that age specific.
Right.
But I will say this, a lot of times for your children's maturation process, you got to start somewhere actually giving them some kind of rope where they can, okay, get better, and they can deal with it. And I think a lot of stuff is rooted in because parents are afraid to let the kids go through stuff. Afraid to let the kids go through stuff.
Right.
And when I say that, like, don't want a child to look bad. Don't want a child to come home crying because things didn't work out. Don't want people to laugh or make their child feel like I'm a failure, I'm a dump, or whatever. And a lot of times parents just do
it. Do you think that parents not wanting their kids to go through something stopped at our age? Like, we went through stuff when we were young. Like, we then once we got older, our generation doesn't want their children to go through anything. And that's who's stopping this whole process. Because we went through stuff, when we had a show about that.
Yeah, but that's a good question. Lab asking, did it stop with us? I don't think it stopped with us. I think what it did is it had less to do with our generation. It had more to do with the ability of the parent. So if a parent can't catch you, they couldn't catch you. We probably situations, they couldn't help if they wanted to.
Right.
They had no money.
Okay.
But typically, if the parents have means to catch you, that makes sense.
I get it.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there were, people our age, we start talking about 45 and up, that had parents that were enablers.
Well,
but you probably had less. If you put in perspective, because again, Lab, if you can't do it, you just can't do it.
I get what you said, but we're gonna have some dissension on this show today. I disagree because I believe that parents, I knew a bunch of kids in my neighborhood when we were growing up that had means, their parents had means to do things, but they still just let them do stuff. They let them figure it out. Like, it was just the way it was. It was like, you didn't coddle your children back then when we were growing up. We didn't get coddled. I don't remember. And I had a couple of guys on my block that were their parents had good. My best friend, his mom had a good job. Like, his dad had a great job. They had money, pertaining to back then. They had money, but he still went through stuff. I mean, he still had issues with me and him together. We did stuff and just went through things.
But here's the deal. And I think the fatal flaw come a lot of times if we would look what's applicable to us.
Okay.
Or our immediate circle.
I
ain't spoiled my kids.
Right.
Or I do certain things, but I'm not oblivious to I hear all these other people complaining about what's going on with theirs. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So and I'm not saying, and I do agree with you that it happens more now.
Okay, right, okay.
But I think my personal opinion, it happens more now because the ability of parents better do. You know what I'm saying? So I do think people are a whole lot less tougher than probably our generation and stuff like that.
Right.
We're doing it, but I do think and that ain't the only reason.
Right.
But I do think just that apprehension let them go through stuff. Some other things is sometimes people are afraid of what they haven't done for their preparedness with their child. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And like, okay, I don't want them to go into the world. I want to keep them around me and protect them and stuff because things are crazy out there, things are whatever, And we look at nature. Usually, any animal in the animal kingdom, they just deliver the baby, protect them, in infancy, and at some point cut off and they gone.
Right.
And I'm just saying,
push the babies out the nest and They fly, they fly. They don't, they don't.
There you go.
Right.
And I think sometimes people, again, I think that's just damn, all creatures, humans, animals, reptiles, fish, whatever. At some point, you got that nurturing process, and then hey, they out there on their own. And I think sometimes when we start talking about just that feel, have I done this? Or what I missed out on this? What I missed out? Because I can be honest with you. I know how frightening that is to have a child leave the house. You know what I'm saying? But I always say, my fear, this grown joker staying in my crib is much greater.
Much greater.
Than, saying, keep it, hey, what the world going to do to him.
Right.
And I think a lot of times it gets tougher. People will say, well, stay a couple years in their 20s. Because, we had discussion with people say, well, black people are quick to throw their kids out and put their kids out and stuff like that. I don't think it's an issue with black. I mean, damn, I think white folk put their kids out too. Indians do too. Asians do too. At the end of the day, it's not the issue ain't about putting your kids out. If you raise them, they should want to leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What you always say, what you gonna teach them from 20 to 30 that you ain't telling them from 1 to 20.
Exactly.
Right.
What in that time frame from, just say after 18, 20, 25, what are you gonna teach them?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that you come from 0 to 18.
Right.
What are you gonna lay in? Yeah. And I think a lot of times people be missed out on stuff, which ain't nothing uncommon. Which ain't nothing uncommon, man. You can miss out on certain things. Damn, I should have taught them that and everything. But you got to get over that feel.
Angela Burt said, "Hey,
what's going on, Angela? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Angela?"
And but guys, remember what I said. Remember, go to the YouTube channel, Change the Life, hosted by Deonte Burton. If you have to leave, but regardless, still just go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We got a lot of great information on that YouTube channel. Couple things I will say, just to assist you. We start talking about encourage independence in your kids, right? Guys, feel free to call in if you have a situation with your children where you feel like, hey, I'm trying to get them to be independent, or they can be a toddler, they can be a teenager, they can be an adult, or whatever. Feel free to leave your comments in the chat. Also, if you want to call in, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. And a couple of tips what I think again assist people with helping encourage independent children. Number one, try to give age appropriate responsibilities.
Okay.
I do think I don't see why a 5-year-old can't pick shit up off the damn floor. I do think sometimes you start getting about 10 years old. You can clean your room. You can maybe do your laundry. You can clean up around the house. Right. Like, there are things you can do, right? You get 15, 16 years old. There are things, trash, cleaning, taking care of the yard. There are things you can do from that. You avoiding that in the big picture, you could be damaging. There are things that you can give. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that are age appropriate. I never held the standard that I have for my 18-year-old to my 5-year-old. And I damn near slapped shit out of my 18-year-old if he said, well, you didn't do that way. You ain't say nothing to him. Right. He's 5. Right. We really gonna talk about that? Right. He's 5. We really gonna talk about that? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not at the same standard. Now, goddamn, mind you now, I got a 30-year-old, finna be 30, 22, 19, and a 14-year-old. So I don't have no babies. Right. But over the years, I try to always kind of make sure that, hey, listen, I'm tightening that rope up. Right. Now, when I'm tightening that rope, in regards to what I'm putting on you, but I'm also, getting you prepared, like, okay, putting pressure on you, teaching you certain things you need to have done, but also giving you leeway. Okay. Okay, now you, hey, 17, 18, or 15, 16, okay, go do this, go do that. But you need to make sure this is done. Right. Make sure these certain things are done. You got the freedom to do this. So when it is time to leave, okay, cool. You can just totally, just oblivious. Yeah. But you also understand the correlation with being able to have certain freedoms and certain things available to you. The actual rules and stuff you got to follow, or the things you got to take care of, right? Okay. Because we do know, for you to eat, you got to work. Right.
Right.
For you to live somewhere, you got to work.
Right.
Right. So it just doesn't presto. Okay, cool. I'm not finna have no grown ass man. Hey, daddy, you need to take care of this. You need to take care of that.
Let me ask you a question though.
Talk to me.
But do you believe that, like, if you once you give your child chores and responsibilities around the house, that if those chores and responsibilities are not taken care of as they should be, that there's consequences for that? I'm just talking about maybe not going out or maybe not getting allowance, whatever the case may be. But there's consequences, because there's consequences in the real world. You don't work, you don't eat. It's just that simple. So, I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to feed them, but at the same time, there has to be consequences to the responsibilities not being done, don't you think?
No, let me tell you something, Lab. That is super important what you just said, consequences. You want to know the problem? Parents make rules, kids don't follow the rules, kids may slack with something, and they're not held accountable.
Yeah.
Did I tell you clean your room up? You didn't clean your room up, so I still let you go to the movies.
Right.
If you don't clean your room up, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere next week.
And they gone.
Shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Shut it. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be real with you. There are far too many young men, and I can say this because I'm actively dealing with young people that are not my children. There are too damn many young people in jail right now because they kept getting this. Because they kept getting this. Right? They didn't get it at an early age. Listen, I said do this. And if you don't do this, this is what's gonna happen. Not if you need to stop. I'm tired of talking to you. I keep talking to you. I'm not. I'm not. I wish one I'm calling. I'm trying to tell you. How many times I'm gonna say some shit?
Right.
That's one time. That's it.
Right.
And sometimes when you enforce those rules like that, it can be an inconvenience to you as a parent. Why? Because I might need to take this child somewhere to do something, but now I got to really enforce this shit. Now we can't do it.
Now we can't do it.
Okay.
Right.
Or it might be something to be conflicted. You know what I'm saying? In regards to you giving out that punishment. But I'm telling you, man, one of the biggest problems I'm telling you that parents miss out on is saying one thing, but not keeping that standard. Like you said, that consequence. Yes, consequences, but can you go through the crying, the child moping around, the child? I don't want to, I see my kids maybe moping around. And I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Say hey to mama.
Hey, what's up, mama?
Yeah.
But you got to be able to hold them to that. See, the consequence. There is no point to even talk about consequences if you ain't gonna hold it to them.
Right.
Because they ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna get to you, let y'all hook. That's young thug. I'm just saying shit.
Once they figure out that there's no consequences, then they start taking advantage of the situation, I believe. Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. You were talking about children, telling children to do something, they're not doing it. What happens is a lot of times children will do things the wrong way to frustrate you, to get you to do it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you have a vision in your head how you want that garbage taken out. You want to take it out, put it in the can lid closed down. They take it out, put it next to the can, come on back in the house.
My granddaddy, to that point, had me go cut the grass. I didn't want to cut the grass, so we had the tree roots in the backyard. I purposely hit a tree root and cut the blade. He cussing me out, this, that, and that. He like, no, MF, you still going to cut it. So I had to still cut the grass, go over it 2 or 3 times because the blade broke.
With that shaking.
Exactly.
Right.
But again, I did it on purpose because the first time I did it, he said, Poochie, watch the tree root.
Right.
I knew what I was doing.
Right. Okay.
Second time I did it, I know your ass did it on purpose.
Right.
He cussing me out. You still gonna cut it.
Right.
So this damn thing about to fall apart. I gotta go 2 or 3 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that was the consequence to your action.
That was it. And like I said, I'm telling, that's one of the biggest things parents miss is you cannot tell your child, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that, and do not stick with it. I'm telling you,
right?
If they know that, they'll take them so much further in life.
Right.
They'll take them so much further. I'm telling you, man. I see too many guys that have went down that wrong path because they kept getting this. They kept getting this. Kept getting this. I'm telling you,
right.
It is. I'm telling you, I'm tired of talking to
right.
you. No.
Constantly talking. When you say you're not gonna talk, you keep talking.
That's it. That's it. You got to say it and mean it, and you got to be able to stick through it, through all the stuff that come along with it.
I think sometimes the problem comes in when you have both parents. Like me and my ex-wife raised our kids together all the way up to in their 20s. Youngest one when we got divorced was 18, I believe, 18, 19, maybe he was 20. But the problem we were having was when they were younger, I would say, no, you can't do that. And she would say, yeah, you could do that. So we had I would say, no, like when my son got old enough to drive, I would say, no, you can't drive my car. That's my car.
Yeah.
And she would say, well, let him run to the store, let him drive. I'm gonna let him drive my car. I'm like, no, he can't drive no car.
Yeah.
No car, period.
That shit hard, ain't it?
Right.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. You know what? When I was married, that was never really an issue. We was on that unified front.
Mm-hmm.
But since I got a divorce, I don't think my ex-wife does that now.
Wow.
But I think she allows, I'm being honest with you, I think too many other people allow to voice their opinion.
Right.
Where when we were in a unified front, that wasn't the case. That makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like unified, we didn't let nobody. But now I think other people can make their opinions. And I think, a lot of times kids gravitate to what they like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And that be the problem, see. But it'd be a unified front when it's something that she thinks is wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't. I think some parents deal with that too. You can't have a unified front on one thing because you think it's wrong. And then when I'm telling them, no, you can't do it on all things. This is, everything that I'm telling you, you can't do. But she don't think it's that big of a deal. You get what I'm saying? Nah, you can't do it. We got to be unified on all things. If I say no, you say no. And we'll talk about why later.
There you go.
Right.
And you know what? That's I've been on plenty of boards where you get in there. We've made a decision as a board. We get before a particular group or body, and people are having questions. I see people after the meeting got parking lot conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, look here. We agreed to this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was your time. But we walk out the door.
Right.
And we say this is what we say it, not Poochie. I ain't really like the Poochie wanted to do it. But not punk mother.
Right.
Right. Hey.
Right.
This is what we say it. And I think that's where a lot of time with parents, and depending if you sit there and let outside influences come in and talk, you have to be consistent with it. Because kids gravitate to that. They see you got an inch of opposition to what's going on, they're gonna gravitate with it. Mom, daddy said this. No, well, grandmama, my mom and daddy be trying to do this. No.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
And that was one of the big, like I said, it wasn't I still don't feel like it that much, but I think now too many people that probably would have been nipped in the bud before because now it's different because kids ain't around me.
Right.
Like, they're around me ain't most of the time, but you still got more opportunities for outside influences to get their opinions. If that makes sense. What we got right here, Sanford Blister PR says, great topic. Parents often skip the stated consequences because it takes sacrifice on their part. Some parents aren't willing to make that time sacrifice. I appreciate that. I agree. Like I say, it's you don't know what's gonna come with it.
Like if they going somewhere next weekend, you're like, okay, they're gonna be gone, so I'm gonna do this. But then they mess up. Now you gotta cancel your plans too.
Or you plan to do this thing with them.
Right. Like, and you already spent money. Man, you already bought tickets.
We going to the Falcon game.
Right.
Now I can't. He just got spent from school.
Right.
So I'm still gonna take him to the damn Falcon game. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be staying fast though.
That's the thing about it.
Right.
Far too often, kid having fun and all that stuff. Now you really gotta make it really, really like that. Man, my granddad did some shit like that when I was young. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Savage Bliss PR says bingo exactly. I forgot what granddad did. It was something I did, man. That man was just like, no. That's just like, for real? It was Kmart over there on Bankhead. I'm probably 8 or 9 years old. It was my birthday.
Okay.
So there was a creek right on Commodore like you cross the creek, Kmart. Grandma was like, saying this is right after Wayne Williams and all that stuff.
Right. Okay.
So we were like, hey, we're gonna go cross the creek, go to Kmart. Like grandma was like, don't go. Like, we're gonna go.
Right.
So we done went to Kmart.
Right.
One of the neighbors told that Poochie and Morgan, they don't went to the Kmart.
Right.
So go over there. I'm coming back from Kmart. My mama standing over there on like the edge of the creek. It's funky out there, what I'm saying, but my mama just standing over there. You know what I'm saying?
Waiting.
It was my birthday.
Right.
When I say they didn't let nobody come over because they were very adamant. Don't go over there. Don't go. And they were so mad at me. They did not let.
They stuck to their guns.
I'm over there eating cupcakes
by yourself,
by myself.
Grandparents were funny like that. The grandparents were like us. The grandparents when I grew up with, I very rarely got in trouble. I rarely. I guess I was just a great child. I was a great child, but I mean, one incident. My granddad, he just always. I had this issue where I would always put my mouth on stuff. I was like 7 or 8, so I kept putting my mouth on alcohol bottle. My granddad said, "Don't put your mouth on the alcohol bottle no more." Whatever. Started putting my mouth on alcohol bottle. Next thing I know, he came with a stick of butter. He said, "Since you want to put stuff in your mouth all the time, eat that stick of butter." And I had to sit there and eat that stick of butter in front of everybody. The nastiest thing I ever did. But I ain't put my mouth on nothing else no more.
I wish I could say I ain't take my ass to Kmart no more.
I would have probably did that, Pooch.
I was a lot more slicker with it.
Yeah.
I remember that, like, y'all really ain't gonna let me have my birthday?
No.
I'm talking about my buddies that came over, Poochie for you the cake. Hell no. Take your ass home.
Granddad was happy. So
all three of them, man. Grandma, granddad, and my mom.
Mom, what happened? Mom, you what happened?
She probably ain't damn remember. All that trauma, I remember.
Right. But those are consequences that they stuck with.
Yeah.
They told you not to go. Nowadays, I don't think parents will be able to, especially on a birthday.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna punch you after this birthday over.
Well, I can give another solid example that come to mind. 8th grade, I'm getting my pooch mode. So I love my boy Jay. Jay married, I ain't said, but we done cut school. We got the girls over, we partying, cause Josh, we had a whole lot of freedom. 8th grade had a party over there, chilling. We seen like the girls left out probably about 3 or 4. Jay mom's out of town. We seen his neighbor. She was an older lady sitting on the porch. One thing down there. Cool. I get home by 5 or 6. Walk in the door, like tired. I'm like, how was school today? I'm like, it was good. Your mother, you didn't go to school. John's neighbor done called his mama and all that stuff. Man, I'm talking about lab. I'm gonna be honest with you. I stayed on punishment for it was probably 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm talking about like really like punishment. There was no
go to school, come
no leave for real.
Right. But that's what I think a lot of kids need that today.
Yeah, man.
That sternness, like
but see those, and it made a major impact. Cause I ain't never really been in no trouble in my life and stuff like that. But just knowing that, like, oh Lord, because you might go this way, but you ain't gonna go that way. But you know what I'm saying? You don't say too far the boundary. You might tug that line, But at the end, they're like, nah, I ain't finna do that because I don't even want to deal with what's gonna come along with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So do you feel that all that? Because I do. I feel like all that made me a little bit more independent. Do you feel like those things that were, the consequence to your actions, made you a more independent person?
Made more independent, and it probably next thing, these 2 things, what I want to just bring up what parents can do. You got to encourage decision making. You got all these damn choices right here. Encourage it. Now like you just said, okay, if you made this decision, this will happen.
Right.
If you made that decision, that will happen. You can say, I don't have to sit here and tell you, you're gonna get in trouble for doing this. You know that. Encourage the decision making and let them deal with what come along with it and stuff. And stick with it. Encourage your child to think. Son, you want to go? Listen. You want to go to the show,
right?
You got $20. Okay, cool. But you want to do something the other day. Like, understand, I can't give you no more money.
Right.
Like, this is what you have.
Decide which is more important.
Which more important, or how much you're going to allocate to each one.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, this is what you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to this camp, you want to play this sport or whatever, we can only pay for this. We can only get you back and forth to that. What do you want to do? Right? I'm just saying, and it's age appropriate.
Right.
I do not believe in asking a damn 8-year-old, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And then when they said that, a lot of times kids don't know shit. They just don't pick the path of least resistance.
Right.
But when you start sitting there saying, like, you can make it again age appropriate. You know what I'm saying? When you sit and teach them like different consequences with certain stuff, not what you like and what you don't like. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what that does is, do you want to go here? Do you want to do that? And they don't understand the ramifications. Good, bad, major, not major. They'll never learn how to make decisions based off the consequence of what's going to happen with it.
Right.
They just making it because it's how I feel.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional decision instead of a rational one.
Exactly.
Slick say, I'm not that kind of nana. I say it one time. He's right. Slick say it one time.
But check this out, like, when I coach football, there were so many times a parent would say, well, such don't want to play this year, so we're going to pull them off. And then they called me 2 weeks later, well, coach, we're going to come back out there. Oh, no hell.
Right.
No hell.
He made his decision.
You didn't want to come out there.
Right.
So now you got shit for him to do. Now you want to bring him back.
Right.
You gotta teach these kids. You gotta teach them when they start decision making. Again, when you're older, you a 6 or 7-year-old, they just feel what they want to do. And most kids, to be honest with you, I even looked at sports, just think about that. Most of them don't like practicing. They like playing the game.
Right.
But they don't want to practice. Right? They just show up for the games, do that, they're cool. But practicing, getting hot, funky, sweaty, doing the same thing over and over and over again, they don't want to do that. But they want to play in the game. Right? So that's where that come up. Folks don't come to practice all damn week, show up for the game.
Right.
No hell. But you have to teach your children that, encourage them to make decisions. Another thing, you got to teach them problem solving. You got to teach them, like, okay, look, man, your bike done fell apart and stuff like that. Again, the little child, you ain't gonna sit here and expect him to do that. But a young adolescent, teenager, and that's the chain, that's the wheel, get the tools, play with it for a little bit. You might step in, hey, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? You got a little desk or something want to put up, figure it out. When they gotta actually go to something at school they have to do, hey, go to the people, go tell them who you are, go sign yourself in. You're not gonna go in there with me,
Right.
Let them figure shit out.
Yeah.
Let them figure stuff out, because you're gonna have a damn adult that don't know how to do shit.
Right.
18 years old, you still filling out damn job application. 18 years old, they don't know how to. They go to college or something like that. They don't know how to register for classes. Right? They don't know how to do nothing.
Right.
And somebody's always going to be doing it for them, either the new boyfriend or the new girlfriend, and they're going to manipulate. Let them figure stuff out.
Yeah.
But keep it in bounds where, hey, try that. Once you go try that, then come back and holler at me. You know what I'm saying? You still teaching them, but you getting them rope to get better. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
What you about? I'm sorry.
I know, no worries. I was going to say, like, but do you feel like it's sometimes things that they want to do, they figure out? Like, I'm going to give you a good example. You said fixing the bike. When I was young, I don't remember nobody showing me how to fix my bike, but I wanted to ride it. So I learned how to fix, I learned how to fix it. The chain slipped. I learned how to put the chain back on. The tire got a flat. I learned how to fix that inner tube. Back then we had inner tubes, youngins. I could put the patch on the inner tube, but I don't remember anybody. My granddaddy never sat down and just said, okay, this is how you fix a bike. I think a lot of times with children, with us younger adolescents, adults, 12, 13-year-olds, if there's something that we really want to do, we're going to figure out. We're gonna problem solve and to figure out. I'll give you a good example. Games on PlayStation and stuff. When they want to learn how to play, my children, when they were younger, we had a PlayStation. They wanted to play that PlayStation. If it didn't react right, they knew to go in there, get something, and clean it off, and put it back in and play. Or if it was the Nintendo, knew how to glue that cartridge, get it on, put it back in, and make it play. I didn't show them that. But that's just something that they wanted to do that. They wanted to play, and there was a problem with it, so they solved that problem.
Absolutely. Just like, you sit there and say, well, my child to have a chance to study for the test or remember certain passages or do certain things, but they can remember a song or a rap.
Right.
Like
right.
verbatim.
Right.
Right. So again, it's about interest.
Right.
If they want to do it or not, take the initiative to do it. We far too often people coddle their kids and let them get away with a lot of stuff, and it just bite them in the butt.
Right.
And again, this ain't to beat nobody up. The whole purpose of having this conversation is to help each other, not to sit here and berate people about what you did or didn't do.
Right.
But when we have these conversations, we all got to have some kind of ownership where we say, like, look, I know that me.
I messed up.
I know I done did this, that, and that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times with my older son, I might have flipped the hell out of him, son, because I was young dad.
Right.
William, I'm 3 kids ahead of past.
Right.
I'm a smarter dad. Right. I'm going to handle things
a little different.
A lot differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation. That don't mean I ain't going to buck at him.
Right.
Or getting his shit.
Right.
But getting his shit won't be the first reaction, no matter how it was when I was touring.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
I think we all, like my son, and both my sons, I was a little bit rough on, but my daughter, I was a little bit, I let her slide with a lot of stuff sometimes. And I think it was just because she was my daughter. She's the only girl, so she got away with a lot more things. And I'm gonna say it was me than my sons did.
Yeah.
Like it just.
Do you think that helped her? That made no difference. Or can't really tell.
No, it hurt her because she's better now, but she was at the point where she just would kind of fly by night. Like she was kind of like in the wind. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing this, doing that, living here, moving there, just in the wind. So. Because I always came to her aid, you know what I'm saying? I still do it sometimes now, but I just think now I say no. You know, I say no quicker. Nah, I ain't doing that. I can't help you with that. You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't let me be your first call. I want to be your last call.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to be the last option. I never want to be your first option.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. One thing about Facebook that's funny, you meet a lot of family members that you hadn't talked to in years or never even met.
Right.
But I got a lot of DM messages. What up, cuz?
Right.
First time. And then, hey, keep cash at me.
Yeah.
$20 or $30. I just met this motherfucker.
I had the same issue.
And you, this cuz,
right.
First time I talk.
What's up?
Let me send it to you.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
My sister's children.
Yeah.
What's up?
You talking about strangers. Oh, well, you talking about
strangers. I've never met
I got you.
I never met me and my sisters were raised different, separately.
Okay.
We were raised with their people.
Gotcha.
I was raised with my mama's people.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I've never met these children.
Yeah.
Or these adults now.
Yeah.
What's up, Just so have our last name. My mama's last name, my last name the same. That's their grandma, so they know her.
Gotcha.
What's up, Think you can I silence. I stop conversating at that point because I don't know that person.
Well, I done sent it. And the issue come up here to that point. A week later, hey, you send like you ain't send me what you back the money.
Right.
And the point is once you sit there and be able to facilitate and provide that kind of atmosphere where a person can keep coming and keep doing and stuff like that, they'll continue to do it.
Yeah.
So if your child knows that I can make a face, I can poke my lip out, I can do certain things and stuff like that, they will continue to have that same behavior. Okay. And you got to sit here and say to yourself again, be okay with being upset, be okay with being scared, be okay with all the stuff that come along with it, and just be like, look, man, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't damn do it. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest things, a lot of times people don't want to do certain stuff. You got to avoid overscheduling stuff too. You got to avoid putting so much on your plate, they play crossing where I got to take care of this. Man, look, we ain't got no time, so let me go and get on top of that.
Right.
No, man, get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done. Let me don't have myself stretched so thin and never learning how to do stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of times children will notice that. Children are smarter than we give them credit for a lot of times. They'll notice that, like, if I take my time when we're in a rush, let me move slowly, then mom and dad, I'm like, oh, get out the way. Let me just go so we can go. let me just do this so we can go real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the kid in the head smiling, going, yeah, I knew that would work.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew they would get tired. Let me mess it up a couple times.
Yeah.
Hell, I did that in adulthood, just like getting soup files. Deonte, you're moving too slow. Let me go on and get it done. We got a deadline.
Right.
So I get it. But I'm gonna straighten up why, because I had a job and I couldn't afford, do it. So you know how much rope you get, but your child gonna kind of milk that cow as long as they can.
That's true.
Again, guys, we're talking about how to encourage independence in kids. Again, how to encourage independence in kids who stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Bird YouTube channel. Definitely go there, subscribe to YouTube channel, take advantage of all the great information on the channel. Don't see anything. Got a question? Anything?
Not yet. Feel
free to call in, guys. Want to add to the conversation? Got any questions in regards to encourage independence in your kids? The call in number 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. I guess everybody had no issues with their children. That's some shit.
Everybody got great children.
Everybody got great kids and never had no damn problem.
They all leave the house at 18, 20. Living great careers.
When we're looking at some common behaviors that can kind of hinder independence. And one of the first things is just being overparent. Overparenting, where we like, hey, we shielding them from certain things. We talked about that a little while ago.
Right.
You got
overprotective.
Yeah, overprotective. Like, he don't want to have this, he don't want to have that. I've heard a lot of times about it. I ain't want to just sit there and bring it up.
Right.
In regards to somebody said something about another family member about mine. Like, I don't want them to be around these other kids, and I don't want them to, pick up no bad habits and stuff. So I'm gonna put them in this kind of environment.
Right.
Like, them kids in this kind of environment don't have no damn habits.
Right.
That you don't necessarily want.
Right.
Right. And I think a lot of times we're like, I'm gonna protect them. I'm gonna do this, that, and that. But the world don't give a damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of times, are you really preparing for certain stuff? I ain't saying drop them off and gang central.
Right.
But I am saying you got to sit there and just prepare your kids to the best of your ability.
Right.
For life.
For the outside world.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about all these kids who parents are rich. They got everything they could ever want. They can buy anything they want. But they either some of them strung out on drugs. They can't figure out, their next path in life. They can't figure out what kind of career they want to have. They've been in college and changed majors 8 times. Because they've been overprotected and they've been coddled. They don't know what their next step gonna be. Their mom or dad have always told them what their next step is.
Yeah, that plus and they finance it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you know that I'm able to do certain stuff, keep starting over and doing certain things, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Right.
But if I know that shit ain't an option,
right.
But man, I ain't got another chance. That's it. I might be so quick to want to get that done. We got here. Sexy Redbone says, where would you start if they're semi-grown and you've been doing everything? When I hear that, as far as they're semi-grown, you've been doing everything, I still say one thing: you have to still just make that boundary. Mm-hmm. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. It has less to do with the age. Mm-hmm. It makes it easier the earlier you start.
Right.
Reason why I say this: if you go to jail, they're gonna tell you where to wake up, go to bed, piss, eat, how to stand in line. Mm-hmm. Like, there is
no choice.
No choice. Right. They're gonna do it.
Right.
They're gonna, and if you don't, you get put in a hole. You get extended time. Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm just saying to you, like, if you go there, they're gonna do it.
Right.
So with that said, they had the capacity to follow direction.
Right.
They have the capacity to follow orders. Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you just got to be okay for the attitude coming on with it and just stick with it.
Stick to your gun.
That's I think the issue people have.
That's the hardest thing to do.
Oh Lord, that he doing it.
Right.
Doing it. Man. Yeah.
Right.
If my child doesn't care about my mental state enough, to say, look, I don't want to stress my dad out. Mm-hmm. My daddy got enough on his plate. If you don't care, I don't give a damn about your
right. You're gonna be just as stressed out.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where to live.
I'm not gonna stroke about dealing with you like that.
Especially when you grown.
Huh?
Especially when you grown.
Absolutely. So
Slick said it's not good. It's not always good to get everything you want.
No, yeah, and you know what? The thing about it is, when you start getting everything you want instead of everything you work for, you know what I'm saying, or everything that you deserve from your output you had, that's when I think a lot of times people get kind of miss a lot of stuff and everything. What's going on, Nicole? And so I think that's where a lot of times kids get probably a false sense of reality on how things should be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So but I do think parents got to be okay with them kids going through stuff. So again, like I said, I think it has less to do with their age, where they are. It has more to do with the system that you lay out and how much you're going to stick with that system.
Do you think a lot of parents sometimes protect their child or get their child in such situations because they don't want to be seen as bad parents too? So that plays a big role, and sometimes that plays a big role with how parents react or what parents do to help their child more so than anything, because of the how the outside world may see the parent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we just talk about one phenomenon is you raising 30-some-year-old kids in the house with you. The other phenomenon is you damn subsidizing them, paying for their rent, and all, because you don't want nobody looking at why she got a grown ass son living with them.
Right.
Why they got the grown son and his kids living with them. So what the parent do? They go get the damn apartment, a house, and all this stuff in their name, and they still taking care of because they don't want the image that my child lazy.
Right.
My child still stay with me.
Right.
Or this, that. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what happened, didn't go, because again, our kids are going to go on different paths. And then, there's there's a pride thing. You feel like, okay, well, my kid doing okay, this, that, and that. But then sometimes, especially you can get caught up with my peer's child doing all right, mine still right here.
Right.
Or my peer's child, they all doing well, and they get in trouble. Mine still
right here.
So we sitting there looking at like, what I do right, what I do wrong, what's going on. And I always say this, you can be honest with yourself. You know when you did or didn't do something, and you know when they just hard hit. Right. We always say, lad, we get too much credit when our kids do right, get too much blame when they do wrong.
Right.
It has shit to do with anything that we have instilled. Like, I'm just thinking an exception. Most of the time, parents, I think majority of the time, parents teach their kids to be criminals. You have 5 kids, 4 of them doing great, and 1 just a damn fool.
Right.
Not because something happened or something did or didn't happen. It's just because they made decisions that they wanted to make.
And some children just aliens. They could just be what we don't remember as adults, as parents. Some that we were when we were children. We would always say, when I get old, I'm gonna do this. So we got to remember that our children probably saying the same thing, and they're gonna choose their own path once they get able to choose that path. No matter how much you try to steer them this way or turn them that way or call them to go that way, you could do just about everything right, and they still might choose the wrong path. Because that's just they grown. They have free will now. They can do whatever they want to do, pretty much, as long as they ain't doing it in your house.
Or on my tab.
Right.
I'm not paying for your damn dumb ass.
Right.
No. And when you make that decision, stand on it.
Yeah.
And my kids know it. You know what you want to do?
Right.
And cool. Stand on it though.
Right.
Stand on it.
You sure?
You want to do that?
Right.
I ain't going with the short shit.
Right.
I might do that with the young when they little.
Right.
You grown. I don't want to do that. That ain't what I want. All right, cool. Gotta stand on it though.
Right.
Okay, well, I ain't mean it like that. No.
I'm good.
Because again, man, as I've got older, I've learned that life's so precious, and when you don't sit there and create certain boundaries for yourself to protect your well-being, people don't give a shit.
That's true.
People don't give a shit. You know your child and be like, man, daddy got to work. I ain't gonna bother dad. I ain't gonna bother dad. Daddy got some stuff going on. Daddy just got back from the doctor. I ain't even gonna put that on daddy.
Right.
And you know the one ain't giving a damn.
Let me call daddy now.
You lay up in the hospital.
Right. Daddy, daddy had a stroke. Let me see what daddy got going on.
And don't give a damn.
Right.
Don't give a damn.
Right.
And, you really have to, your love doesn't change for that child, but your love for yourself better be greater.
Right.
I'm not no big, when you got a little child that you're protecting, that's different. When they become an adult, I ain't gonna go all out like that.
Right.
No, because your child will grow and they're gonna make decisions regarding their children, their spouse, or whoever themselves. It can be totally outside of what
you got,
what you would
tell them.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm grown. We stay off. Keep that energy when that shit don't work.
Right.
Keep that same energy.
Right. I'm not cleaning up your mess.
Exactly. Right. I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
I don't want to hear that shit at all. And I think that's where a lot of parents like, well, I gotta help them. No, the hell you don't.
Right. They got this baby. They got that baby. I gotta make sure.
And you can hear, well, my mama didn't help, my dad, my family don't want to help me. Two. Come on. No. And that's the thing about it, man. When I go to these schools, I talk to the young, and mostly talk to young men. I hear that, well, I didn't have a father figure. I want my daddy this, that, and that. I'm very, very, very honest with these young men. You have a 50% chance of having a good daddy. Like, you don't know. So this thing that you're tripping on, you don't have
that major.
You don't know. Well, you don't know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of mothers will fuss it. Well, come spend time with your son. Come do this, that, and that. And you know he don't want to. And you know what? Being real, you really don't want him. Not that you. I think every father deserves to be around a child. It won't be around a child. But you know that whatever you fussing at to come spend time with the child probably ain't the best. Because if a guy is gonna be a good role model for the child, he's gonna want to be there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Whatever he can to get there.
Do it wherever he can. So you fussing by this dude, and then they instill all this damn poison in your child.
You forcing it on.
Yeah, being sorry, being lazy, making excuses.
Right.
But why you tell them that? Why you push that?
Right.
Now, again, if however situation came up for that child to be created, it happened. But and even I tell them young men, look, you got mama list too. You know what's right and wrong. Right. Like, come on now. Sometimes people think, okay, well, my dad. You don't know if your daddy. Right. I love my pops. But I talk about this all the time. Right. And I wish I was there. No, the hell you wasn't. Right. No, the hell no. Right. I know how much shit my dad was getting into. Right. When I was younger, man, it would have been a detriment to me. Right. Right. It would have been a detriment, really, man. I would have been if my daddy was around. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe, like, I don't know mine, and I don't cry about it. It's never been an issue to me. It's never been my daddy wasn't around. I never had that issue. To this day, that's not an issue for me. I didn't know him, so why do I care? I had 5 uncles and a granddad that still don't. I'm gonna tell you, that still don't bend. We didn't have nothing, but they still don't bend. When it came to me, they still don't business. Like they took care of me. They taught me. Some of them taught me wrong. Some of my uncles was just like, you know what I'm saying? But I had granddaddy, and I mean the old, like your granddad, like, oh, you gonna hit that tree stump? Great. You gonna pull the tree stump up and still cut the grass.
Yeah. but also, Lab, you turned out okay. A lot of time when people don't feel like things worked out the way they want, now they got a million one excuses instead of taking ownership on certain decisions. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm a big proponent in personal accountability. That's one of the biggest things. Savvy Business PR says dysfunctional examples can be devastating. # be real. I really do think that's probably one of the biggest things that's missed. When we even talking about encouraging a child to be independent, accountability, personal accountability is one of the biggest things I think it's hurting, especially Black youth right now. I'm seeing too many young men that are very brilliant, very smart, but they don't want to own. Hold on one second, let me fix this.
They say they gotta blame somebody.
Yeah, they can blame you. You can blame anybody. Right. System, your mama, your daddy, and everything like that. But that don't mean nobody gonna listen to you. Right. See, that's the thing about it, Lamb. We can always get to talking and say, well, this didn't work, the system, the police, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're on deaf ears. Right. You're on deaf ears, right? They're so. I just hate to see people pick up certain things later in life where they done missed out on so many opportunities. You understand what I'm saying? Right. We all the time, people say, The school didn't teach us this. If they should have taught us this, you got to be honest with yourself. Were you at that 16, 17, 18, were you the type of student that would have retained it?
Right.
Because a lot of times they did teach it. You just want one of them kids to get it.
And sometimes, like me, people talk about me graduating early, but I stumbled onto summer school. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't something like I wasn't sitting at home going, yeah, I'm going to summer school. I stumbled upon it. And then once I learned it, once I learned what I was getting out of it, then I was there. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we stumble upon things and we don't get what we need to get out of it. You get what I'm saying? We may stumble upon something. We may stumble upon a great teacher in English and still don't go to English. Yeah. We don't go to English class because we just don't like English class.
Yeah, or you don't like English class. Your maturity at that particular time. I said people got to be honest about certain stuff. Like when you had them certain things in front of you, would you have taken advantage of it?
Right.
You know, and that's just being real. Savage PR said, "Gentlemen, are the youth being spoiled beyond reason? Thus, they have become dependent on their parents." I don't know if the word spoiled beyond reason. I just think because spoiled sometimes they may not be given stuff. You know, spoiled I look at being given. I just think that a lot of things are missing. Some things are given to where they are spoiled. Some things just aren't provided. You know, because spoiled, you give them something, but also they're not giving them certain things to help them, to guide them, to guide them, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can not give you anything to make you spoiled, but I definitely just be super detrimental, not providing you with leadership, guidance, that can help make you a model citizen later on down the road. So it's kind of a mix of several things. And again, I don't necessarily know if it's a perfect way to raise a kid, and I think you may have a variance of ways, even raising kids, same kids in the same household. But at the end of the core things in regards to, you're talking about being independent.
And so I believe some children just have it in them. Yeah. Just have that responsibility in them.
Yeah.
I just believe that some people just that way. Like, I mean, they just know that they need to do this to make that happen, or they just know if I do this gonna happen, then this gonna happen, then I'm gonna be out of that. You get what I'm saying? Some kids just know. Well, I don't know how, but they just know.
Well, it's like some people can understand leadership. I mean, everybody not built to be a leader.
Right.
Now you can see and do certain things to get management, supervisor position, but everybody doesn't know how to mold. Everybody doesn't know how to be stern. When you get in true leadership, you're going to have to make some tough decisions. You're going to make some decisions that everybody ain't going to like, but you being fair. And you got to be able to handle repercussions that come of that, regards to folks being mad at you that were once cool with you. But you doing your job, you being fair. Everybody ain't built to handle that stuff. Right. To be able to make tough decisions, do all that stuff. So, to your point, some kids can handle it, some just can't. We talking about pressure, don't want to sit here and be embarrassed, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
When we talked about the resilience a couple weeks ago, one key thing we talked about teaching independence with kids is, you got to push in their minds that you failing to learn. I'm failing to learn. When I say failing to learn, FAILING, you making mistakes and things that happen, but you learning from it. And we don't discourage them from doing certain stuff because, like, look, they messed up. Oh man, that didn't work. I tried to put the towel and then the towel fell apart.
Right.
I put this is the thing a lot of us probably did. We get the IKEA or the Walmart thing, and you put shit on.
And you miss it both screws.
Or the shit on backwards. Then I got to take it apart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you turn around and say, well, look, I'm going to leave it the way it is, you got to look at it forever with the damn with the solder side. Or you got to take it apart. Right. But that's the thing about it. You're failing to learn. You're failing to learn. You're making it. You having things happen where it wasn't correct. But I learned from it, right? I should have turned to this street, but if I should wait to the next one. But once that took me all 5-10 minutes out the way. I never do that shit again because again I made that mistake. I know not to turn right there anymore, right? So we gotta sit there and encourage thinking, trying, whatever, doing it. But when you say, man, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't try to do that. I always encourage entrepreneurship. People want to try it, but be realistic about how you're going about it. Right, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest reasons even we're doing Mr. Short Dollar. We're not telling people not to do it, but I'm gonna be brutally honest with you about these are the things you need.
Right.
People call me. I get more calls this time of year because we're in the last quarter with people. They looking for a new accountant. They looking for new payroll, this, that, and that. So I always get the call, hey, you an accountant? Yes, I am. Been in business? Yeah, I've been in business over 20 years. We're talking to I just want to know, do you know how to fill out this form? Do you know how to do this? And they telling me, right?
Right.
And for the simple fact they calling me, they telling me what? They don't know how to do this shit either.
Right.
But they'll talk to you
like they do.
They do or ask you certain stuff. I'm like, well, I said, well, one of the first questions I always ask. Well, you've been in business a couple of years. Why you leaving the other account?
Right.
Well, they didn't know how to do this or what. Now, in my mind, I just know how to experience. It's not a lot of times that they didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
It's most times you didn't like the shit they were telling you.
Right.
That's most of what it is. Like,
right.
I'm telling you, Larry, that's most of what it is.
Right.
Not that they were telling you wrong.
Right.
It's that the shit that they were telling you what you wanted.
What you had in your mind what was gonna be.
And I know that's what the case was.
Right.
We're doing it. And I always say, people, you got to be kind of honest with yourselves in regards to how certain things turn out. San Publicity PR says, great points. Thank you. Sister just came in. What's up a little bit?
Slick says, being a responsible person ain't always good either. She said she's called that her family. I think a lot of times when you're the responsible person, it puts a lot of pressure on you because once you are known as that person, everybody comes to you for stuff.
Well, I'm gonna give my opinion on it.
Okay.
I think it's great to be a responsible person.
Uh-huh.
The issue comes up is that you don't be as responsible for yourself to protect yourself.
Right.
See, you can be responsible for your life and everything's going great.
Right.
But have that same sense of responsibility for your well-being.
Right.
So you are good with saying no.
Uh-huh.
Because everybody looking like, well, you got your stuff together and all that kind of stuff. Because the gift and the curse.
Right.
But you got to be responsible enough for yourself.
Right.
So I ain't gonna deal with this shit.
Right.
I ain't gonna put myself or be stressed out with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know how many times I heard, well, I need you to help me. You need me to help you. I'm a single dad.
Right.
I ain't got no damn job.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
I need to help you.
Right.
No. You doing that shit?
Right.
And that's the thing, you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You have to protect it. That's one thing about it. So I embrace being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But I also definitely embrace be responsible for me.
Right.
Well, I gotta protect and say no.
Yeah.
It's one of the most powerful words in the English language.
No.
It's no, because
favorite thing is no. Favorite word is no.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I try.
Yeah.
No, I ain't got time for it.
Right.
And I know when I give you the word no, it may disappoint you, hurt you, maybe make you feel some type of way. But what it did, it took that pressure off of
me. Because now you ain't gonna come back and say, well, you said maybe. No, I didn't. I said no.
The pressure off me. Now you gotta figure shit out yourself.
Right.
If I'm able to do it and I come back to you later on, hey bro, look, had a little free time, you want to circle back, you need help with that? I'm good now. Yeah, I do. Oh, now we worked it out or whatever. Cool. But no, I'm telling y'all guys, you have to be, very, very protective of yourself with that. But again, we talking about that conversation in regards to, encouraging your kids to be encouraging independence in your kids. I hope the conversation benefits you guys. Again, I want to have this conversation because I'm seeing an immense amount of, people raising adult children. And we've talked about this a lot. And really one of the main reasons we even had that conversation and stuff like that is because I've seen too many people talk about it, but they living it. One thing said, man, my son get on my nerve, I had to shoot this to him. Cool. They come along, you know what I'm saying? They just like it. Right. Well, we subsidize, and that's when they get old, right? Especially when we start to subsidize, because the next phenomenon is you be so afraid raising your kids. But now a lot of, to me, children are holding their parents hostage because they know the parents are worried about the grandkids.
Thank you.
Shit. Not this nigga here. Well, I told you, hey, not me.
You right about that.
Not me.
I don't want that. I want my grandbaby to be
stressed.
I want my grandbaby to be.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
Before I'm worried about paying my kids' bills because I'm worried about my grandkids, Shit, I get them.
I get the grandkids.
I get them.
Right.
I get them. Now I'm in total control. But what you're not gonna be doing is ruining my peace or anything. Well, you know, we ain't got none of this and this, that, and that. I can't do that.
So they got a question before we go. She said, would you have allowed your adult kids to have company and let them spend the night? Like if your oldest son was living with you and he had a girl come over spend the night, would you have allowed that?
No, you know it's funny. His old girl on here. What's up, Randy? His ex-girlfriend just came in and out. You know with it. Nah, I ain't never been cool with it.
She said, would you let them smoke and drink in the house as well?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. And the reason I'm telling you the reason why number one reason I never allowed that to happen because they had younger ones watching.
Okay.
But would I let my 30-year-old drink in my house? Well, yeah, because he's 30 years old. But sit here and you know we get to a certain point where like to your point you got a date or somebody spend the night. Now, because I really don't want you to be too comfortable. Like real talk,
right?
Real talk. And I was very with my oldest son. I was very conscious of that,
right?
Like this. You're transitioning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now I don't want you to feel like okay, cool.
Right.
We got the bottom part downstairs. You can stay here, nobody here. Oh hell no.
I'm using the bottom part too.
I'm using the damn roof. I'm using the roof.
Ain't no room in this house for nobody else.
You know what, like, I'm not tripping, but I do not want to be 50, 60, 70 years old, and I'm stressing about my damn child like he 8.
In the basement, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I have no problem helping him.
Right.
Son lost the job. They're going through a divorce. I got you. Mm-hmm. But I do not want to be older, sitting here like, man, I gotta make sure they got something to eat. I gotta pick them up, son. Gotta get them some clothes.
Right.
Now I gotta get their kids some stuff.
Right.
Gotta make sure the kids. Hell no. I can't. No.
It's not gonna happen.
No, I can't. And you know what? My skin thick enough to deal with. Well, you just don't care. You don't care because you want to put that shit on me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very empowering feeling when you have protection of yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you sit here and say like, F that.
Right.
That. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good.
I mean, I got stuff I got going on right now where like, hey man, look, I feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. But people on some damn F Poochie. So Poochie can protect itself.
Right.
And it probably ain't the most popular decision that I'm making, but it has everything to do with me protecting my peace.
Right.
Sexy Redbone said big old facts, 100%. That's but you have to, Lamb. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you, man, folks are shit. Yeah, you gonna take care of stuff with them now when it's inconvenient, or we dealing with shit when it's super inconvenient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not trying to do that. I have no problem helping my children. Mm-hmm. I have no problem. But I'm not going to be losing sleep with them keep making stupid ass decisions over and over and over again. No, dog.
Right.
I can't. I can't. And like I said, I welcome any one of the four to come in and call. Because they know how I am. And I'm very close with all my children.
Right.
I'm very close. But Poochie is the priority. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Poochie is the priority. And I'm not wavering.
And as parents, as fathers, like we were young and being married younger, we discovered that later in age. We discovered that I gotta be all right.
Yeah.
Because we always sacrifice so much for our children now, and when we were married for our wives, our family unit.
Yeah.
That a lot of times we didn't, as long as they was all right, we felt like we was all right.
Bro, that was something I learned. I told you I learned coming out of that divorce is that I done made a lot of blind sacrifice for other people, and they didn't hold the sacrifice that I made to the same standards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was your decision.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? So much stuff that you done missed out on life because you want to provide for your kids. You want to provide for your wife. You want to do this for your family and all this other kind of stuff. And then as they grow, it ain't met with the same kind of, appreciation that you feel like it should be.
Right.
So
you don't do them sacrifices again when they get old.
I'm gonna take care of my kids. Like I said, my happiness coming before everybody.
Right.
Your well-being, that's the priority.
Right.
Make sure you straight.
Right.
But if it conflict with my happiness, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that, man.
Right.
I'm not doing that because again, people are gonna do what they want to do as they grow and everything. So when we start talking about this whole conversation in regards to encourage your kid to be independent, you have to be able to be okay with doing what you don't want to do right now, so you can do what you want to do later on. Simple as that. Listen, guys, I'm Deonte Burden. This is Change the Life, hosted by Deonte Burden. We had a great conversation tonight. Again, I want to tell everybody from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. So definitely, guys, if you have not already, go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Again, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. You can even put Deonte Burden, Burden, in the search on YouTube. Changing Lives should pop up. Mr. Short Dollar pop up too, but I know Changing Lives will pop up. See the Blue Man logo and everything. But definitely, guys, you look at, we got a lot more great information on the YouTube channels. Also, guys, I want to let you guys know. One of my books came out yesterday. 5 questions you should ask. Appreciate it, Larry. It's an ebook. It's an ebook, guys. I want y'all to know this. It's 5 questions you should ask yourself before you start a business. Again, 5 questions you should ask yourself before starting a business. It's an ebook just for $5.
No.
$5.
Oh.
So I'm gonna overmarket it. Okay. And then I did the notice yesterday. My other finance would have been working on short dollars and cents. I displayed that.
Love it.
That's going to be out in the next 2 weeks. That'll be out in the next 2 weeks. But the 5 questions to ask yourself before you start a business, that is available now on Amazon. I will be putting the links, popping that out and everything like that. But that's there. $5. $5. You know, remember $5 foot long. Listen, better than a sandwich. It's better than a sandwich.
Right.
$5. And it's not just 5 questions, it's also a lot of sub questions, a lot of information to do it, guys. You know, I'm over 20 years in the game and stuff like that, and I got a deep hard passion for entrepreneurship and people, having self-sufficiency, being able to take care of yourself and everything. But I come from a realistic standpoint. I'm not going to sit here and preach financial independence or wealth building to you if you don't have the right mindset for it. You know what I'm saying? You try to sit here and try to have generational wealth, and you don't have the right generation set up behind you. That's why it's so important to have these independent kids. That's why it's so important to have resilient kids, because you damn near kill yourself to build this damn empire, and this damn fool spinning shit out. Hell,
you can make it
at your damn burial party.
Right.
They ain't even gonna have a funeral for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got the music playing.
Right.
Pouring the shit out. They got a jet and shit. You know what I'm saying? So the mindset has got to be there. Because it take you to a certain way to think to do that, to build it. So it's gonna take you a certain way of thinking to be able to keep it and sustain it. If your children don't have it, they're gonna lose it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where everybody loses it. It's a lot of times I just feel when you don't have certain stuff, it is a great way to think, to want to have. I want to have this generation wealth to leave for my kids and their kids. But if this ain't their lab,
right? What difference?
You know, more than likely y'all ain't got it because you ain't fixed your shit.
Right.
But you got to make sure they're fine because you leave it, and it's that's one of the biggest things we want. I try to instill in people. I ain't trying to create. You know what I'm saying? Magical place. It ain't ours. It ain't Rwanda.
Drops and rainbows.
I'm about to say Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have to be able to go through things and prepare your kids. And that's why you see them companies like the Walmart with the Waltons and the Fords, they sustain themselves. And you see you see them transition with Chick-fil-A and all this other kind of stuff going, these family-owned companies, because again, they've put things in place. We say, well, white folks do this, that, and that. A lot of times it's just really that they made things in place where the succession and the plan is there, where you're prepped for this. So when this goes away, we can walk into that. And just keeping it real.
Right.
It's a conscious effort to prepare their family and their heirs to be able to take certain stuff. Not you spend all this time trying to make this money and save this money, and they don't know what the hell it is.
Send them to school so they can learn about this, so they can market and supply chain and all that stuff.
You raise a child, you don't spend so much money to provide a certain way for the child, but you never taught them how to take care of that stuff, make it grow,
take over.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I say a lot of times with us as adults, we gotta own the shit we ain't do, right? You know what I'm saying? I saved this money and I left them all this money, but they know what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They blew through it in 5 years.
Yeah, because they didn't know.
Right.
So that's what, I try to really switch from parents. Like, look, man, when you get to the other side, you got stuff to give them. I know my children. I got some great kids, but I know who I can lead this to. I know who I can't lead this to.
Right.
I know who I need to just, hey, you take care of this shit, and I trust you gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't no knocking on my kids.
That's just the truth.
But you know them.
Right.
You know them, right? So definitely go to be on the lookout for that, guys. I'm gonna be pushing everything. Again, that's 5 questions to ask yourself when you start a business. That's on my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. But I'm gonna have different platforms to push it out. But definitely go to both YouTube channels, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and take advantage of all the great information that's there. But listen, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say it again. I love you all. Be safe. Thanks for all the great support. Enjoy your weekend. And listen, I'll talk with you soon.